Welcome to Talkin Business. I'm Joe Catrambone, President, CEO, Stuart Martin County Chamber of Commerce. Gee, you think I forgot the name? I mean, I
You're new.
yeah,
You're
I'm
new. It's
new at
okay.
it. My guest today is, I mean, it's like family. It's not. She's not a guest. We've known each other so long. We know each other so well. We know our spouses. We know our families, and so it's like having one of my family members
Yes.
on the show, which I really appreciate your taking the time to.
Thanks. Excited to be here. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And I know we're going to talk about leadership,
Yes.
which is your baby,
Yes. Your baby.
my baby, our baby.
Our baby. Not together though.
No, let's not get any rumors started. So, but before we do, I know, but let's tell people a little bit about how you got to Martin County.
Okay. Clear back 35 years ago, I had a friend that lived here, and she said, you should move here. There's lots of things happening. And I was like, maybe thinking about changing my job, so I decided to come here. So I came here and to this whole area, and I met Patrick on a blind date. And a few years later, we got married. And I was working for a publishing company in Port St. Lucie, and then I decided to take some time off because we thought maybe we would start a family. Well, then that didn't happen right away. So Patrick was very involved with the Stuart Martin County Chamber, and I think that year or so he was going to be chair. And then I met Joe, of all places, at a business after hours, and he says, "You're not working?" And I said, "No, I'm just taking some time off." "Oh, you should come and volunteer." So I started to volunteer at the chamber probably about 32 years ago, and the next thing I was
Time flies.
employed as selling memberships, and then membership director, and then operations, VP of operations, and then leadership, and 30 years later, here we are, and we're still working together. So that's why he says it's like family, because we do know each other pretty well by this time. So.
And I can remember when Cindy decided she had Patrick, and she decided, I mean Richard,
Yes.
excuse me, and decided she needed to take time off to raise her child, which I was distraught about, but I understood and got it. And so she left and raised a wonderful young person. He's a wonderful young person, married now.
Yes, 28 years later.
Yeah, 20, and I'm sure you're hoping for a grandbaby.
Yes,
along
yes.
the way here soon. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
That kid will be so spoiled.
Yes, he or she will. Yes,
Yes.
we'll take
Yeah.
either.
So, and if I'm not mistaken, you had just come off of a modeling career, didn't you?
Yes, I did that when I was younger and in my 20s, so I enjoyed doing that. I mean, I had a regular job, but I also did modeling and went to New York a couple times, went to London, England on a trip, so it was, that's a rough career, so
Yeah.
it wasn't really my personality, so I decided to stick with, I did a little bit of, even when I came to the area, I did a few modeling things, and then I started just,
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah.
So anyway, so Cindy took time off, and then when Richard got a little bit older, she decided to go into her own business, and I think you partnered with Tim Kinane.
Yes.
And then I was able to, for whatever reason, I don't remember, but I was able to draw her back to the chamber. Nancy Saylor, who was mom, most people remember the beginning of leadership. Nancy Saylor was where Cindy is now. And so Nancy was going to retire, and I needed someone who, she'd done it all. She could run the office, did. And so I was able to convince her to come back as our vice president of operations and take on leadership because Nancy was retiring, and she also took on the finances, the whole 9 yards. So, and recently, to my chagrin, she came in to tell me she was retiring again. and I got it. I mean, I understood, and I tried to talk her out of it. I think I talked her out of it once before.
Yes.
But anyway, I knew it was time, especially when Patrick called me and said, "Hey, Joe, I really need her here." So I understood, totally understood, and it's worked out really well because she's always going to be part of the chamber,
Yes.
and
Always there to help.
yes, and even I mean she's still not only doing leadership, but she's also putting together and will handle our annual gala every year, which she's
Yes.
done for.
And it looks like it's going to be Friday, September 30th at Mariner Sands, but we're still, latching things up there. So we're excited to start to work on that.
Yeah, and it's interesting. We moved that to a Friday. We always had a Saturday, and it was
Yes.
always from in that September, end of September,
October.
middle of October. And so we had to say, were the Gators playing at home? Were the Knowles at home? Were the Canes at home?
LSU.
Yeah, so it was crazy. So we decided to move it to a Friday night, and it's worked out so much better. I didn't think it would, because I thought, who wants to go to a black tie affair on a Friday night?
We didn't think us ladies would have enough time to get dressed.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
They love it.
So,
They
yeah.
don't, that way they have their Saturday. They are not giving up another Saturday. So
and we've increased the
Yes.
attendance. So the Friday worked out really well for us.
yeah.
So we touched a little bit leadership, Martin County. People who know me, have been around me, probably are tired of hearing me say, if I had to point to one thing that I am the most proud of since I've been here, is bringing leadership Martin County and how it's progressed over the years. That's the thing I'm most proud of. And so I think there were 80 some people interviewed for my job when I was hired. And then it was down to 3 finalists. And later on, some of the board members that I got to know said to me, the reason you really got the job, the edge you had, is because you had been part of leadership Brevard County. So I had been part of the team that put leadership Brevard County together, and our board wanted to do leadership here in Martin County. And so because I had that experience, I think that was one of the turning points or the tipping points that helped me get the job. And then, of course, so fortunate that Nancy
Right.
grasped it and became mom and took it, and Cindy has continued right on, and they don't dare call her mom.
No.
But Cindy has taken over, and it was left in obviously wonderful condition with Nancy, the way she left it. And we have people involved. Tim Kinane, if Tim it was in class 1. I mean, and he's been with the program ever since. If I had to pay Tim his worth, his going rate, we couldn't afford to do leadership Martin County. But it's not just Tim; it's so many other volunteers. And I point out Tim is because he's such such an important. He plays an important role in especially the opening weekend of our program.
In our closing, and he does a leadership skill each month, so it really adds value to our program.
Yeah, I mean, and Tim is not alone. We have so many other people that have been involved with the program. We get cooperation from our municipal government, from our county government, from the school board, from the state legislative offices. This is all volunteers from these offices that do this. The hospital, with no cost to us, and that's why we're able to keep it at an affordable price, which we consider as an affordable price for the quality that you get with our program, for the amount of money compared to other areas. Some of the leadership programs are done in the evening. Some are done on a Saturday. Ours is the first Thursday of every month, and it's an all-day thing. So it's a commitment of time, obviously, for our participants.
Right.
And I'm stepping into your territory.
okay.
So, but I just wanted to explain my role and where I am. I am so fortunate. I mean, I don't have. All I do is show up at graduation and hand out plaques. I occasionally, obviously, I went through the the program, Class 6. And a quick aside, I need to tell you, when we put together Leadership Brevard, the 4 chamber execs went through the first class. And the Florida Today newspaper editorialized against us because we took up seats from local business people who may have wanted to go through the program, because in Brevard we accepted 50, I think.
Oh, wow.
We accept just 30 in Martin County. And so I made sure that I wasn't going to go through Class 1 here in Martin County and take the maybe be scrutinized for it. But now what I've done, should have thought about it a long time ago. If we have a staff person that goes through now, we extend the class to 31 instead of 30, so we don't take a seat away from someone.
Right.
And we should have done that
The whole way.
Yeah, all the way. But who thunk it?
Yeah.
So Cindy, with that intro, I hope I didn't steal any of your thunder.
No, it's exciting because yesterday was our last day of the program for the year, and it's like a wrap up of everything that we've done all year, because in the beginning we take our applications, we take as many, because it's great that so many people want to be involved in the program, but we only take 30 or 31 into the class. So each month I tell everybody it's like an adult field trip. We go to see the hospital, we go to economic day, we have education day, we have economics, and we go to environmental, we do public safety day. So we get a diverse people, because we don't want 30 realtors or 30, educators. We try to get a real life simulated society of people to go through the program, because we want them to learn from each other. We want them to see how each other evolve in Martin County, as well as the different industries. So we have 10 months of that. And on the 10th month, they come together by walking in someone else's shoes. So they all get to kind of do some research, find out how the other part of Martin County lives, whether it's the economic disadvantaged, the business professionals, and then they all do a presentation so they can see what has happened in those 10 months when we were visiting the other places. So we did that yesterday. It was a great day. And of course, we had Tim Kinane there, our business consultant, that he kind of wrapped up the day to see how that they enjoyed it. But you have to remember, this is the 31st year. So who would have thought, people say, oh, some programs last a few years, but this is it, 31st. So this is the time of the year that we take applications for the next class, which will be 32. So that means 900 people in Martin County have gone through this program. And we still have a waiting list, or we still have to have a selection committee because we get so many applications, which is great because, like I said earlier, we get that diversity. We get that diversity for the class, whether it's male, female, young, old, industry-wide. We just get a whole diverse group, and it makes exciting for the class, because when they start out, some of them know each other, some of them don't, and then by the end, they're like, as Joe said earlier, a family, because that's what happens at the Stuart Martin County Chamber in Martin County, that we just become a family. And it's exciting to see that people enjoy what we do here in Martin County and at the Chamber.
Yeah, and it's interesting. It's almost like in college with a fraternity or a sorority. Yes. I mean, it's like that kind of bonding that you go through the class with, and it's really an interesting dynamic. And in a minute, I want you to go through just a day for me, but it's so amazing to have people who said, oh my God, I went to school here. I went to high school here. I didn't know that. Right. Oh my God. Literally, we take people to Indiantown. Yes. That's the industrial hub. That's a part of the economic engine that keeps us going. And I've had people who've lived here for 10 years say, I've never been to Indiantown. I guess I just can't understand that, but yeah. I guess.
Well, there's some people that don't go over bridges.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So give us let's see, my favorite day was criminal justice.
Oh, that's an
Okay.
exciting day.
So walk
Yeah.
us through.
Well, we
what
don't like to
happens.
give away too many secrets
but-
of the program, but like I said, every day is like an adult field trip. We start early. We start 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes we travel by bus, sometimes by van, or sometimes we just go by car. But on Public Safety Day, the biggest exciting thing they get to do is ride previously with a sheriff deputy or a city police officer. So they get to get hands-on information and experience. And that's what the day is about. You get to go in the back doors of Martin County and visit some of the people that you wouldn't be able, you could knock on their door, but they're not going to let you in. So on Public Safety Day, we get to go visit the jail. We get to go in and see what's happening, how it's processed. And then we get to go over and visit fire rescue. And then we get to, of Martin County. And then we get to go over and visit fire rescue of the city of Stuart. And we get to talk to the chief and the officers there of what happens. And they walk us through the good and bad of a day of either an officer, a police or sheriff, a fire rescue person, and the mental health issues that go along with some of the things that happen in our area. So it's an exciting day. And then, you know, they get to talk about it, and then they get homework. They always get homework every month. And that month, of course, it was riding with an officer. So it's exciting. They get to go in the back doors. They get to meet the sheriff. They get to meet Chief Terminelli. They get to meet, you know, the city of police, all of what's going on. So it's exciting.
Yeah, it's hands-on. It's
Right.
really hands-on. And it's no holds barred. You have questions, ask them.
Right.
There's nothing that we say you can't go there or
Right.
don't do this. It's a learning experience, and we don't want anybody to walk away and say, "Gee, I didn't ask, or I didn't know, or I wanted to know." It's an experience that I just unless you've done it, unless you go through it, you really can't explain. It's a learning experience. It's almost like taking a college course for a
Right.
semester. I mean, it's
On
incredible.
Martin County.
Yeah,
The most
yeah.
exciting thing I think we've done in the last couple years was we're a 9-day program, and we finally added Environmental Day. And we talk about what happens on the coast with all the organizations, but then we also go a little west. We go to a cattle ranch. We go and see the C-44 canal. We see what happens with all the pieces into, you know, what's environmental, what's causing, you know, everybody worries about the water, but how does those effects get to how our water is today? So that's one of the exciting things that we've done this past couple years.
And we're always looking to improve the program.
Yes.
And so what we try and do is convince people from, for instance, Class 31. We ask some of them to get on a planning committee or get on
Yes.
one of the committees for planning a day, if not the general planning committee, so that they could bring their ideas. So we tweak it here and there, and we've done that in the past, and that I think is why our program is so
Oh, it is.
successful.
It's
Because
hands-on.
we don't ever say, "Oh, we've always done it this way." That doesn't fly, and it never will. I don't care how you did it for how many years.
Right.
If there's a better way that's going to make the program better, we certainly look at it and incorporate it in the program. One of the things that bothered me for a while, it's called leadership, and we didn't, in my estimation, didn't really do a leadership. We were showing people how leaders operated and what leaders did and hoped it rubbed off on them, but we didn't, in my opinion, dedicate any time during the day towards specific leadership skills. So we added that.
Yes.
How
Yes.
many years ago?
About, I guess it's 3 or 4 years now.
So that, not that it wasn't a true leadership program. Obviously, it was. It's award winning, by the way. We've won state awards and awards on our leadership program. But so it wasn't that I didn't think it was award winning. I just thought that we needed to share a little. I mean, there's so many things, there's minutia that's involved in leadership that if you aren't told about it or reminded about it or taught about it, you don't know. So that, to me, if our program wasn't complete,
Right.
which it was,
Yes.
this is just a little
Yes,
added
and
benefit.
Tim Kinane, the business consultant in Martin County here, helps us with those. And each month we pick a different type of leadership skill to sharpen for the people that are in the program. So every month he does a different type of skill, and they get to practice and follow up with that. And it's exciting. People do enjoy that. And like Joe said, it's a compliment to the whole program.
Yeah.
It just brings it to another level, and we're excited about that.
And we do the alumni association, leadership, Martin County alumni, as Cindy said, there's 800 or 900, whatever, do events just for leadership alumni. And there's part of being part of that, not only the leadership, the current class, but then becoming part of alumni and being part of that 800 or 900, whatever it is, networking group of leaders that have already gone through the program. And they're leaders in their own right anyway, but then they've gone through our program, which we like to think gives them a little extra.
Yeah. But in 1995, they started youth leadership.
Yes.
So that's
we did.
exciting.
That was also a
Yeah.
coup, I think.
And talking about having a commitment from the school
Unbelievable.
board, the school district, we take approximately 40 kids from, when I say 3 or 4, we even do the private school or homeschool. We take 40 students into the program each year, and alumni consumes all the costs for that. So the students that do it, then there's no fee. It's just all raised by alumni fundraisers and dues.
And do a scholarship.
Yep, it's the Nancy Saylor Youth Scholarship.
Award. Yep.
Goes out to one student, a four-year scholarship to one of the students that have gone through the youth scholarship program. So that's exciting.
Well, Cindy, that was great. I think we covered everything. Is there something
so.
you might want to say that we haven't
No,
covered?
it's just that we do take applications this time of year. So if anybody has any questions, I think my number was on the screen there. Just feel free to call Joe or I, and we can get you in the right direction.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Good to see you. All right.
Thanks
Thank you.
for watching.